This is Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. That's sound advice. It's not financial advice. Be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's so much better than being a jerk. You actually have to focus on being a jerk. It takes effort. Being kind, helpful, and grateful just comes naturally if you allow it. So do that. But that's not what this is about. This is about New African Channel. Niger government seizes control of French uranium mine. See this? You guys do that too.
What happens when a nation's most valuable resource becomes a geopolitical battleground? Niger, a key player in the uranium market, has made a bold and controversial move, seizing operational control of uranium mining activities from French nuclear giant Orano. This decision underscores a broader struggle for sovereignty and economic independence, while stirring global concern about energy security, regional stability, and geopolitical alliances. French nuclear company Orano has announced that Niger's military authorities have assumed control of its uranium mining operations in the country. Niger is the world's seventh largest producer of uranium, supplying about 5% of global demand. Its reserves have been pivotal in fueling France's nuclear industry, which
Okay, hold on, wait, let me finish this up.
generates 70% of the country's electricity.
Okay, first off, Niger only produces about 5% of the world's supply. The only reason it's important for France only is because France has been fleecing them of their 5% of the world's supply. And I did a video like almost a year ago on how they already increased the price of the uranium from like 80 cents per kilo or something like that to $200 or $2 per. I'm not sure the exact numbers. It was a large increase. They were definitely getting fleeced. But France can buy it still. They just can't buy it at the undervalued price that they were basically stealing it for. So it really doesn't affect France. What it does is it affects the rich people who are making the cash off of fleecing them. So it's not really a big geopolitical thing, except for the leaders and the upper echelon in France who now have to pay more for their energy because they were screwing the country before. No big deal in my book. Deserving.
Before the July 2023 coup, Niger accounted for nearly 20% of France's uranium imports. However, the military's rise to power has disrupted this long standing relationship. Military leaders criticized previous mining agreements as exploitative, arguing that they failed to adequately benefit the Nigerian people. In a move symbolizing this sentiment, the government revoked Orano's permit for the Imoruan mine in mid 2024. The military's actions reflect a broader rejection of French influence in Niger, a former colony. This hostility escalated with the expulsion of French troops and the closure of export routes, particularly the border with Benin. Orano reported that 1,150 tons of uranium concentrate, valued at approximately $210 million, remained stranded due to logistical and regulatory blockages. Military officials, including Niger's Minister of Mines Colonel Abarki Osmane, have made clear their stance. They will not permit French companies to profit while the French government refuses to recognize the military government's legitimacy. Niger is actively courting new partners, inviting Russian, Turkish, and Iranian firms to invest in its mining sector. This pivot mirrors the actions of neighboring Sahelian nations like Mali and Burkina Faso, which have also embraced ties with Russia, often through its Wagner Group. Such partnerships represent a significant realignment in the region, diminishing Western influence and introducing new players into the uranium market. For France, losing access to Niger's uranium reserves threatens energy security, while other suppliers like Kazakhstan and Canada could mitigate the shortfall. The disruption poses challenges for France's heavily nuclear reliant energy infrastructure.
See, I got something to say about that too. See, that's not really true because I don't even see why France is needing so much. They recycle 95%. They're the only country in the world that recycles uranium. The only one. So they really, I don't see why they're making such a big deal out of this. other than possibly they needed that cheaper price of uranium to pay for the recycling of their uranium. I guess business wise, long term, you could do some contractual thing where it would be advantageous, but it doesn't sound it. But France recycles their uranium. I've done a video on it. Google it if you don't believe me. So I don't see why they're actually making such a big deal of this.
The government's takeover also carries risks for Niger itself. Uranium mining is a cornerstone of its economy, contributing to government revenue and local employment. Orano has warned of worsening financial conditions at its Nigerian operations, potentially jeopardizing salaries and community investments. Furthermore, the region's security remains precarious. Extremist groups like AQIM and ISGS have a history of targeting uranium mines, seeing them as strategic assets. The withdrawal of French troops, coupled with the weakened state apparatus, raises fears of increased militant activity. Niger's actions highlight a global trend of resource nationalism, where nations seek greater control over their natural wealth. This is particularly evident.
And see, every nation's doing that because we're getting away from this global kumbaya, one new world order, one world government. Every country is going back to securing their own futures, cleaning their house, getting things in order, being able to survive as much as possible off of their own resources. And then maybe in 20 or 30 years, we'll give the globalism thing a try again and everyone will have a more fair spot at the table. But that's not this time. That's later.
In Africa, where historical grievances over exploitative colonial era agreements still resonate. For Niger's military government, seizing uranium mines is as much a political statement as it is an economic strategy. Niger's military government faces significant challenges in sustaining mining operations, fostering new international partnerships, and securing its northern territories from insurgent threats. At the same time, France and other Western nations must navigate the shifting dynamics in the Sahel, balancing energy needs with geopolitical realities. The situation in Niger is a microcosm of larger debates about resource ownership, neo-colonialism, and the future of energy. How these issues evolve could reshape not only Niger's destiny, but also the global energy landscape. As Niger reclaims control of its resources, will this bold step empower its people or lead to greater instability? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments section below.
Yeah, do that.
If you
Share
like
your
this video,
thoughts.
be sure to subscribe
Share your
to our channel and
comments.
turn on the notification.
If you like what you saw and you like me narrating over it, giving you a little bit more insight as to how I view things, like, share, and subscribe. I need more views. Help monetize me. Been around for 3 years telling the truth. You guys have a nice night. Enjoy your weekend. And be the best you can be today. Give it a try. See ya.